being the example, a healthy example. What's up, y'all? Welcome back for another video to recalibrate with Raw Natty Nate, aka the Nice Cream King, coming to you live with the Raw Food Thing. You guys, I'm glad you stopped in here to watch this quick little vid, and I just wanted to stop here on this beautiful hike that I was taking and throw down this quick little video for you guys and give you guys a few tips on how I myself stay in that mindset of being a healthy example for not only myself but for my friends, family, loved ones, and co-workers, the people around me. And one way that I like to do that is by having a plan. A plan is very important. And if you guys are needing a plan of how to become healthier by eating more raw, fresh fruits and vegetables, and you're not really sure how to combine them and make cool recipes to make it taste good, click the link in the description down below. We've got recipe books, several different meal plan recipe books. Each one of these meal plans are a 30-day meal plan. So you've got your breakfast, your lunch, your dinner. Each recipe is different, so that's 90 recipes per meal plan book, as well as a dips and dressings book and a winter recipe book. All of these books are books that I use to be a healthy example for my friends, loved ones, and coworkers, and for myself. You guys, what I do is I set up myself for success each day by planning out what I'm going to eat, because I feel like food in such a way has a lot of control over us if we don't plan out what we're going to eat. If we are just kind of flying by the seat of our pants, so to speak, sometimes we get really hungry, we get a little agitated, and we just go for the quickest, easiest stuff. And we find ourselves right now with this lockdown, right? And there's a lot of places that are shut down, maybe some of our favorite restaurants. Of course, our grocery stores luckily aren't shut down, but what's interesting is all the liquor stores and fast food places are open. So it's very easy to just drop on by and grab a sack lunch. But see, that is not setting a healthy example for not only ourselves, which is very important to set a healthy example for ourselves, but for our friends, family, and coworkers, our loved ones around us, right? So having a plan is super important. And that's one way that you can set yourself up for success. And it may feel kind of strange, you know, if you're taking on something new. I remember when I first started eating raw, it felt a little weird bringing my blender with me and cutting up my vegetables in front of everybody and blending a fresh dressing in front of everybody. But eventually it started to rub off on people, and other people wanted to eat healthy as well. They started to want to, you know, have a little bit of my salad to taste it because it smelled so good, and it started to rub off on people. And so when we set the example and we just stick with what's right, what is right is different for everybody. But what was right for me was I wanted to feed myself a higher vibrational food, right? Something that wasn't cooked to death. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that, you know, eating cooked food is horrible or, you know, toxic. I don't believe that. It's just not optimum. And of course, animal products are definitely not optimum. If you find yourself on this channel, welcome. And this is a vegan channel. I definitely like to promote a lot of the vegan message, vegan being that ethical connection to our environment and the animals. And so definitely excluding all animal products is a great way to set a healthy example to yourself, showing yourself that you love yourself, as well as your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers around you. You're not going to stand for it. You're not going to be putting in the body parts and the secretions from other animals. It's unnecessary. If we're in a survival state of mind, that would be a different situation, and we could call what we find ourselves in right now sort of a survival state of mind. But I'm telling you what, you guys, Lissa and I both eat raw vegan, and we're in the midst of this wild situation that we find ourselves in, and we're able to remain raw because we have a plan, and that's the biggest thing. Now, when I was working the seasonal job that I had, I'd go into work with my smoothie every day, and I'd bring my salad with me to work every day, and I wouldn't pour the dressing on it until lunchtime. I would pour all of my ingredients in the bowl and, put on some toppings, some cucumbers, sprouts, maybe some kimchi, some tomatoes, that kind of stuff. And then I'd pour my dressing on, mix it all up. And each day it kind of started rubbing off on people. And my coworkers, they wanted to eat a little healthier themselves. It took a little while, and I didn't say anything. I wasn't trying to push anything on them. I wasn't saying, oh, you shouldn't be eating that. That stuff's pretty bad for you. I just was doing my thing. But that was setting a healthy example, and it started to rub off on individuals, which was really, it was awesome to see. It was awesome to see them take initiative to make changes within their life, to switch up the way that they've been treating themselves, and maybe set a healthier example for their family and loved ones. Because once it starts to click, it's easy to stick with it. Sticking with eating things that are derived from nature. And even though we're from nature and animals are from nature, we don't eat people, and we don't eat animals. We don't need to eat animals, and we don't need their byproducts. That's an old mindset. It's time to shift it up. We're building a whole new world. This is a whole new world that we're going into, you guys. And I like to envision a vegan world, a world where we do not stand for the purchase and the consumption of dead animal parts. We don't need that. That's not setting a healthy example for our family, our friends, our loved ones, and the children. We don't need to eat dead cows. We don't need to eat dead chickens, dead birds. We don't need to eat dead fish. We don't need to eat dead anything. We need to eat living things. And that's setting a healthy example right there. What are some other things you could do to set a healthy example? Is to drink your water. Make sure you're drinking your water every single day. If you're at work right now with people, make sure they see you drinking that water, man. Water is so good. This will be my second one. This is lemon water, 32 ounces to start my day off with. I brought this one with me in my backpack on the hike. And drink your water. That right there is going to be a great way to set a healthy example for people around you. Because we all know we should be eating better. We all know we should be drinking more water. And the more that we're doing that, the more that it's going to rub off on other people. And it's not that we need to preach to them or push our beliefs on them. We just do our thing, and it'll start rubbing off. It's kind of interesting too, because when I was working this seasonal job, it was in a hemp farm, and there was a lot of plants that were moldy. We were doing the harvesting out in the fields, and a lot of the plants were moldy, and I don't want to breathe that mold, because once those particulates go into our lungs, they never leave. So I wear a respirator, a painter's respirator, and nobody around me was wearing any respirator or any masks. But it was interesting watching. The next day I started to see a couple people had a paper mask, another person had a bandana on. As the months went by, a few other people started picking up some respirators. And I didn't say anything. I wasn't like, you guys should wear a respirator, you're being stupid because you're breathing all that mold. I just was doing my thing, trying to set a healthy example by taking care of myself. And it's interesting how we can feel that off of people. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you go, say you're at a barbecue. Barbecue. Ridiculous. Isn't it ridiculous how, like that just popped in my mind. But it's like, that's how we get together. We get together over food and drink. So we definitely want to set a healthy example with what we're eating and drinking. But say you're at a gathering, because we don't need to be barbecuing anything realistically. Even if it is just corn on the cob and potatoes, that's still like, not necessarily optimum food. But whatever the case is, you're at a barbecue, you're at the lake, and you see someone who's maybe juggling or walking like a slack line. They're doing a handstand or doing some yoga. You can tell that they have been working on themselves throughout the year, and it's inspirational. And we see that, and we want that for ourselves. We all want to be living our highest version of ourselves. And sometimes when we don't plan, it gets the best of us. So make sure you guys have a plan. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you stayed this long, give yourself a thumbs up. And until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I love you.